A? Oh
Oh, that's
man.
right. Mm.
Oh gosh. Okay. I
Logan,
got so much.
it's been a couple weeks. All right,
It's
we got some stuff.
It has.
is
It has.
it's we have not been on in a couple weeks. We've been busy, Logan. Logan, have let me ask you this question right off the freaking bat. Um, Magic the Gathering. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it.
All right, have you played it?
I have not played it.
All right. And you live in Chaska?
I do.
All right, all right. Well, Matthew, what do you think? Huh? Should we introduce him?
I deal with my brother enough. I don't know if I want to add that to my other. Nothing in particular. Actually, yeah. You know what? Now that I feel bad that I said that. Maybe we can. I'm just kidding.
All right.
All right. Well,
yeah.
all right, let's go live.
Are we
Dude,
not-
my desk is a mess right now, and I had to clear it off with all the freaking Magic the Gathering, dude. It is still a mess.
It's okay. You're fine. You need those organizers, dude.
Dude, I am building from scratch. I know my own deck, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. So you know how it is, Logan. What are you doing? Why are you breathing so heavily? By the way,
he's got a clogged nose.
I do have a clogged nose. I do.
Oh, I knew it. Okay. All
He
right.
does that when he's got a clogged nose.
Well, if you guys are, what are we at? We at. Oh, freaking.
Your freaking camera sucks, Logan. It's so bad.
It's just what it came with the laptop.
Dude, Logan, you know what? If you're going to be a regular on this show, okay, I have an extra camera to give you if you want. It's yours. It's literally yours.
I appreciate that.
Will you take it?
I will take it.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks. Logan is making moves to be part of the GG.
I
the
actually
Goof and
have
Goober
a
show.
extra mic too sitting at my house.
What
Really?
the? Yeah, and you
A
this
podcast
whole thing that like what Matthew has, like trying to be like Matthew here with the microphone on your headset. Is this new? Because last time you went AirPods,
Oh,
You had the-
that's true.
and so what made you switch?
I was just dealing with a lot of.
Actually,
Logan.
put the mic down. Put the mic
Logan,
down.
you got to put the mic down to talk.
Don't
I was
listen to
hoping that
him.
would
The mic
eliminate.
looks fine.
I would hoping that would eliminate the noise of me breathing. So I decided to rock headphones today just because of there's a lot of
the headphones.
tightness or a lot of pressure in right here where I would put my put my AirPods at. So I decided just to rock headphones today, just to try and alleviate that. Alleviate that.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. Thank you for trying to distract the audience members from your heavy breathing. And it's noted. It is for sure noted.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You're
It's not that
fine.
big of a deal.
I just like giving you crap. That's just your big boy. You know what? Let's do this real quick. I'm going to pull this up real quick if I can find it. Kind of want to show you guys this. I saw this the other day. Also, Matthew, who's running this podcast today?
You can go ahead if you want to.
Okay. Easy
Or I
enough.
can. Doesn't really matter.
I mean, Logan.
Um,
Let's put it up to Logan, huh? Let's leave that up
who's
to
running
Logan.
it?
Yeah, who's running the?
I kind of want to. I want to have Matthew try and lead the podcast today.
that is a wrong choice.
Such a wrong choice. Okay, I found. Okay, now, Matthew, I want you. So I'm going to do something here, and it's kind of take some effort here by Matthew.
All right.
This is pre-show. So we're in the
Pre-show?
pre-show.
All right.
So Matthew, I want your honest feedback. Give me your direct commentary on what I'm about to show you. Okay, Logan.
Okay.
Your job here is to hang on. Let me get this prepped and make sure you can. Okay, your job is to defend yourself.
Oh, this is too good. Well, first things first, he looks like he hates his life.
I saw this the other day. I said, "Oh my word, is that my boy?"
How much did they pay you to sing this song?
Yeah, seriously, Logan. He skipped
Oh
the
my
whole
lord!
Sugar Bowl just to go and do this.
I wish they were paying me for this. I really wish they were.
Who's your favorite in the back here?
Out of the girl with the blonde hair and the guy right above her, who's your favorite?
Yeah. Who is?
Just of those two.
If you were to
Well, I see 4 people and the guy on the guy.
The one that's clearly
on the left.
visible.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite person's not on the screen, but I mean,
well, let's see.
probably the guy
Let's
on
see
the-
if we get a full spiel. Oh yeah!
Oh, baby.
Okay, so Logan, I see here. Oops, I see here that you're like kind of looking around a little bit. What are you thinking about? Like when this is happening, like your eyes are kind of like darting left and right. What's going in your
Wait,
head?
can I give
right
you
now?
my commentary before he gives his
Oh,
commentary?
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
He's thinking of himself. He's in the moment, and he's thinking to himself, "I cannot believe I skipped Sugar Bowl
For this
for
crap.
this."
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with it anyway. I'm gonna fake it until I make it,
Mm,
and then when I get done, I get done.
right,
That's what I think.
Logan. What's your commentary?
Or that he has to take a massive poop. One of the two.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I have never gotten major stage fright or like nerves before a performance until then, and like my stomach,
Really?
like I had like that. Remember when we get those burgers that we were having, Regan, that Friday? They were not settling well, and when you get nerves, it's not a great
Multicultural,
combo.
man. That's what it does.
Yeah, so I was like, towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost done with this. Thank the Lord, I'm almost done. So
Right. So we're gonna skip ahead. So you actually end up moving back to the very back corner, going from a solo to the back of the line. Is that like a big downgrade of like what they're saying, or I mean, what's the process in the conductor or the director of whatever making that decision?
I mean, it just kind of blends all into like how you fit within the choir. The height, obviously, the height that you have. If you're a taller person, you're going to be in the back. If you're shorter, you're going to be in the front. And we're just trying to get a good blend of people. I personally wish I was still out on the stage during this song.
Logan, you can barely hear you.
Really, you can barely hear me.
Yeah, like that was very bad, but I could
Alright,
kind
my
of
fault.
take out what you were saying.
All right. So basically, I'll just sum it up. Basically, it comes down to like height, a good blend with people around you, and overall, I wish personally that I was in the front the entire time of this song, but obviously
later in the song, you get back into the solo, but you're in the back now. Okay. Well, that's that video. Okay. Now, Logan, we're gonna go over a few video or photos here now. I want you to explain it to me what's going on in your head. But Matthew, I also want you to kind of give your commentary, like what you think was going on in Logan's head at this time.
Yep.
Okay.
I got you.
Let's this photo right here. What do you think was going on in Logan's head at this moment right here? He just looks like he just received an award. But his face there's something wrong with his face here. So go ahead, give me your explanation of what you think is happening, and then Logan, you tell me what actually happened.
Okay, here's what happened.
Facts or fiction versus facts.
Okay. So, number 99, best friend.
Mhm.
Cousin, in fact. His name's Jeff. Jeff, well, they played against each other, clearly. Two different teams. But Jeff had something that Logan didn't. He had that girl. That one girl that Logan loved and that Logan just wanted to. But the problem is that Logan couldn't have her. And so they settled their differences on the state freaking championship game. And number 99 freaking took it, freaking shoved his nuts in his face. And now that's the defeat of that's a man defeated with nuts in his face. Post nut is what they call it. Post nut.
Did you get now? Quick question, Logan. Did you get teabag, or was that something that happened at all, or no? Do you know what teabag is?
I do know what that is, and that is not what happened.
Okay, what happened? What happened?
Okay, so this is the state championship, as Matt correctly said. His real name is actually Matt. So this was at the end of the game, trophy ceremony, and we were down 7-3 at halftime, and we were frustrated. Our offense wasn't clicking, and all throughout the second half, our offense wasn't clicking. But a few calls went our way. We ended up scoring with about 20 seconds left in the game to secure a state championship. And I'm overcome with emotions. It's senior year. And we were about to win state, and I'm just so much full of emotions that I couldn't just control myself. I was just happy that we were able to come out on top and then get into that award on top of it. Being the only person on my team to get that award just meant a lot to me.
Wait, you guys won state champion?
How many plays did you have?
1.
That's all that matters, dude.
Do you have that recorded?
That's all that matters.
No, it's not proof until it's shown.
I have it. I have it somewhere.
Where's the clip? Where's the clip?
Let's see if it's on this Facebook here. Let's take a gander. This has got to be it.
It's not that one. Nope.
Oh, let's see the highlight. Play it.
It's not a highlight. It's
no
just a picture.
Highlights. Let's see if there's a. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean. Okay, let's see some videos. If there's some videos here. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, hang on, Matthew. Breakdown of film number 80 down here, right?
Yep.
This is you, Logan.
That is me.
He caught his first pass. This is his first pass.
Let me see it.
Well, hang on. Let's break it down by his stance. What do we think about his stance here?
Well, I'm no expert.
This is
you look a little tight.
This is like Coach Red.
Oh my heavens!
Do you remember?
Yes. Oh my God. No, yeah, this is totally Coach Red.
Logan, before you came, we had at Crown College. We had a coach we hired. His name was Coach Red. He had a Southern accent, everything. Okay, but did not know lick about. Oh,
Close
shoot.
it out. Hurry.
Did not know a lick about football. I don't think he knew anything, to be honest. And he came in, Matthew, for like an interview, and Matthew was a part of like this like player coach interview. You explain to Matthew what happened.
Yeah. So it was me and a couple other kids. Were you there, Regan? No, you weren't. No. So they
No.
were trying to do interviews for new coaches. And so they had me and a couple other of the senior guys go in and essentially ask interview questions to these guys. Like what type of offense you're running, what would you do in this? What are you trying to do? Just a bunch of different stuff.
Yep.
And one of the questions we were supposed to ask, it was like on a list that we were supposed to ask, was how do you coach a receiver position stance? And let's just say your stance looks a lot better. Just it's similar.
It does. It really
but
does.
yours is a lot better.
So congrats. I'm proud of you.
Congrats, by the
All
way.
right, here we go. I'm sorry. Too long. Oh, okay. Hang on. Matthew, first step.
Might I comment on something? Those freaking calves. Oh my gosh.
Can I zoom in? Right here?
Scrumptious. Oh man. Look at those
Yeah.
bad boys.
That's what I'm talking about.
They're shaking in their
Shaking
boots.
at it? Okay. Look
Are
at
you
this.
doing a screen here? You're doing a
So
you're
what
doing
are they
a
at?
screen
Looks like it's a downhill screen. All right. Ooh, one step and down. So first things first, I'm noticing your shoulders are already giving it away right off the bat. All right, Logan, you got one step forward and then step back and then turn. You got to work on those hips. That's where it is. Okay.
Mm.
Because this first step gives it all away. Like if I'm a DB and I'm reading you, I'm like, oh frick, this guy's freaking about to be a rat.
Yeah, but this is Minnesota high school football, so the defender really didn't understand anything about football because they're just a bunch. Keep going.
Debatable. Anyways, here we go. We're going out, coming downhill. Okay, slowing down for your O line. So it's this wide receiver screen.
Now, in this moment, what are you thinking? When you catch that ball, what are you thinking? Put your mic down.
I'm thinking, wow, I caught this. I'm just amazed I caught this. Just because we didn't throw the ball much at Chaska. It was always if it was gonna be a pass, it was gonna be like a read option, like pitch.
Wow, it's coming downhill. Oh, mom, dad, look! I just caught my first ball, mom, dad. That's probably what you're thinking. Oh, this is great.
Let's see what happens afterwards.
Look at that! Hang on. Let's watch that.
That's a
juke
juke.
move.
Wow.
Look at
Either juked or he
this.
tripped.
Coming downhill. Watch this. This defender right here.
You shook him.
Oh, the big hard step. You should have leaned more in with your head. Just that's probably. I gotta watch that one more time. Coming full sprint.
You want to know what's crazy about this game before you go on to the next game? You want to know what's crazy about this game?
Yeah, tell us.
We won this game 82-0.
Oh man, they must have sucked.
Yeah, they were really bad. They
Was
were
this
really
JV?
bad.
Freshman?
It was JV, yeah.
Okay. And you were a senior?
Junior.
Junior?
It's
Gotcha.
this game right here, huh?
Oh my gosh, the one that you have on your you have that as your banner?
Yeah, I
Never
don't use
forget,
Facebook.
man. Never
I don't use-
forget.
I don't
So
use
corny.
Facebook.
Let's see. What is this? Is this Logan? Is this you, Logan? First catch of the season. All right, let's see it.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Is
playing.
that a drone?
Yeah, it was a John.
to
That's
be.
White Bear Lake.
All right. So Logan's out here all alone. Looks like it's man with him and this guy. Got nobody else.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. It's for sure, man. So Logan, do you remember what route you got here?
Yeah, it was a 6-yard hitch.
Let's see how well you run this. All right. So we're at what? The 40.
Regan, what are you drinking?
Just a Arnold Palmer.
Arnie Palmer. Gotcha.
Arnie Palmer, man. We're at
Cool.
like what? The 40 or wait, that's the 30. So we're at like the 36, 37
Mhm.
going in.
I like it.
Let's see how well we do.
You got 11 personnel. You're running ahead.
Oh, yes.
Come back and
Oh, Logan. Come back and get it. It's perfect because this DB is playing way too off of you. He's what? He's like 7
not
yards off
respecting
of
you
you.
at all.
He doesn't
He's
have
7
any
yards off.
respect.
He's
7
like,
yards
this kid ain't gonna
off.
Catch nothing.
I'm playing man. And he's like, oh, I'll just let him get the hitch, whatever. This outside linebacker doesn't even care. What is it? There's not even an RPO. Wait, what, is there an RPO?
No, there was no RPO for this play.
So this guy who should have if this guy's playing third, I don't know what they're in right now because it looks like I don't know if that's even thirds, but this linebacker, this outside linebacker, kind of did a trash job. Oh man!
Yeah, I mean,
it
if you
is
look,
Minnesota
also
high school football,
if you look at the other two DBs, like they're way more pressed up than the other guy is. I don't know what he's even doing.
Yeah.
Well, they see those guys as a threat.
Let's see.
All right,
I mean, that's it's just weird because it's got to be man because when this guy's following him and he's on this guy, this
cover one. It's either
that's
one or
what
three.
it looks like. Yeah,
it's cover one.
It's cover one. No respect for you, Logan. My word. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's take a look here. One more. All right, Logan, where you at?
John Anderson laughing now. Anderson. Okay.
Oh, I remember this.
Okay. Tell us about it. Give us some context.
So this is 7th grade. This is my first year playing actual tackle football. This was a kickoff. We just scored. This is the second game of the season. I remember that. And so it doesn't get funny until right before the end. I'll explain the joke later. You just got to wait. Look at the right corner of the screen, and then you'll see what I mean.
Right here?
Yeah, right around there. Right around there. You'll see it.
Wait, was that you at the bottom there?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me.
Okay, we got to...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got
blindsided.
We had dude. Hey, you remember Will Benson? Do you remember Will Benson, Regan?
How could I
ever forget about that guy? We were against Westminster.
Hang on, sorry. I gotta.
We were against Westminster. And Jared threw a pick or something, and he was like taking it back, but Will wasn't paying attention and got laid out. Just completely blindsided, laid out. And Coach Auer, we were in the middle of film session, and he goes, "Hey, Will, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head on a swivel, Will." After he just got wrecked.
All right, Logan, this is a video. I don't know what this is. I'm going to turn down the volume because it's really loud. All right, give us some context, Logan. What's going on there?
So if you look at the date of the video, it was July 20th. That's my dad's birthday, and it was just like a little special birthday, like a happy birthday to him that I posted on Facebook.
Okay. All right, one more singing little birthday guy. Oh, there he is. Where are you, Logan? There he is. Man. Your favorite song?
Went up to the mountain just to give my heart a blow. Thought I heard my true love say, yonder comes my boat. My dog to the blacksmith shop to have his milk made small.
You look like you're having a blast, Logan. Let me just say that. You look like I've been working my tail off to get this song right
For this one moment.
And me and the boys are just hanging out, just doing our thing that we've been doing for months, for years. So
Around a time or two and swallow chop and all.
and the dance moves, my word, Logan. Oh man, doesn't get any better than that. Okay, let me stop sharing my.
Oh wait, Regan, there's one more thing that you need to take a look at before you.
Let me take a look here, real quick. Let me pull this up. Okay, Logan, let me share my screen again here. Okay, Logan, what's going on in your head here at this moment? What were you thinking here? Do you remember this moment? It's actually in one of our posts on the Goof and Goober show.
I do remember this. Yeah.
And
I was thinking when you were behind me, I was like, well, I'm done.
yeah, when I get behind you, dude,
You're
done, man. You're freaking done.
What great times. What great freaking times.
Oh,
that was a
man.
day to remember, boys. That was a day to remember. We had a freaking wrestling match. We had a freaking pie eating contest. Shout out to freaking Niederlo for crushing you in the pie eating contest. You freaking baby. Freaking puking on a pie.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so Logan, what are the stories going around campus right now on the Sugar Bowl? What are the rumors? What have you heard so far about the Sugar Bowl?
I heard there was a banana relay where you had to run and you had to at the final lap though somebody had to eat a banana.
Yep.
And I heard that you were a part of this relay.
I was. That was me, man.
And I heard that you ended up being the winner of this contest.
Fastest guy on the team. That's me, man.
Fastest guy to eat a banana while running.
Yeah, dude. Well, Crown College isn't always the brightest or the smartest. They don't really understand, like, oh, hey, I could maybe think of a different way. Good example. Not necessarily the banana, but the tire tug of war thing. Hey, no, sorry, my dogs. Everyone's just going like this the whole time. I don't know if let me move over this way. They're grabbing it by this way. No, you go boom like this. You go over two hands, and then because everyone's going like this, twist, pull, and you win that 100% of the time, 99% of the time, and so you got to think, Logan. That's my thing about this whole. You got to think about the rules. Oh my gosh.
Your dogs freaking suck.
Hey,
you gotta think about the rules. You gotta freaking think. See, this is what makes because Regan and I, we used to do these fun little challenges at Crown all the time. And we would win all the freaking time because we come up with ways that no one else is thinking of that's still within side of the freaking rules. Like, for an example, we did the Oreo. Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that one. That we probably should. I
don't know, man. I mean, you're a coach.
Yeah, I can't really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll plead the fifth.
A story for another time.
A story for another time in a private setting, by ourselves. But yeah, like what we did find is that at the Sugar Bowl, a lot of the guys just kind of did the same thing. Did the same thing. They didn't think outside the box.
No thinking outside the box.
It was I think had they done that, they probably would have won.
100%.
Then it was just become, the luck of the draw. Whoever was able to get lucky with their picks on the challenge, they won. Excuse me.
Well,
Jeez.
Logan, also, okay, with what time we got? 8:33.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah. If you were there for the Sugar Bowl of Crown College, what event would you want to be drafted into?
What were all the events? I didn't get to know all the events that were there.
Matthew, do you
I know which one he would love to be a part of.
which one?
He would have loved to go against you in sock wrestling.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about sock wrestling there, Logan?
I did not hear about sock wrestling.
Yeah, so they tie a sock around your ankle,
They
and it's a
do.
wrestling match. And whoever pulls the sock off, the other person first wins. Freaking Regan lost to EP. He freaking lost to EP. Yeah.
In my
You
defense,
lost to an 18-year-old?
A
in my
freshman quarterback.
defense, in my defense, let me put it this way, okay?
All right. I'm
Um,
listening because I know you've been thinking about this.
yeah, I have been thinking about it. First
I
things
know you
first,
have.
the way that they did the whole thing with the wrestling, it's basically like the Ace of Champion, and then me going up against Joe Duffy. I just got done. The guy, whatever EP, he wrestled first, and then he got a break and waited until I got done. So he had a break. It would have been a lot better if we both did our wrestling matches at the same time instead of both going one at a time, or
So you're blaming
one turn and
exhaustion.
one turn. Okay, there's my first thing. Second thing, I freaking pat him pin. My knee was in the man's chest. Okay, I can't blame that I'm 30 years old. I am my testosterone. Well, I can blame it actually because my testosterone is through the roof, dude. But I am way out of shape than I once was. And then the whole cat and mouse thing that got me right there. That was the one thing that freaking tore me to pieces. But I freaking had my knee in his chest, and then he kicks it, freaking knees me in the face and rips my favorite sweatshirt. My wife was pissed. Okay.
I'm
So-
hearing a lot of Logan. I'm hearing a lot of BCD out of this guy right now. Are you? Or I'm hearing a lot of BCD.
BCD
100%
was that.
BCD.
Logan, go ahead.
100%
Go ahead and
BCD.
explain BCD to him. Let's see how much you've learned. Go ahead.
Blame, complain, and deflect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
You're doing a lot of BCD in right now. Instead of taking extreme ownership that you just got your freaking butt rocked by a freshman
Regan,
quarterback.
I'm not
Regan, you know that-
saying I didn't lose. I for sure did lost.
Regan, did you
I'm
know we
owning that.
for a Bible study at Crown, we do a Bible study called Extreme Ownership.
Okay.
It's a
Give
book.
me by Goggins, whatever his name is.
Nope.
Yeah,
Jocko.
or whatever. Yeah, Jocko. Yeah, Jocko.
I don't think it's by Jocko.
It is.
I thought it was by the.
Nope.
Oh, I was wrong. Who's the Goggins?
Goggins is this guy.
Can't Hurt Me. That's what it was.
This
Yeah,
guy.
that one. Anyways, okay, give me a little inside scoop of that Bob stud.
Well, it's about two. Is it Navy SEALs leathers?
Logan, I asked you, not Matthew. Take extreme ownership. Jeez.
Oh.
100%.
Alright,
I haven't read the book in a while.
Go ahead.
You've read the book, though.
I
It
have
seems
read the
like
book.
you're trying to deflect and not take ownership right now, Logan.
What are you talking about? You're just not letting me answer the question.
Well, because you're trying to have somebody else answer the question for
I'm
you.
trying to get some clarification. There's nothing wrong with that.
Clarification. You should ask me for clarification on what the question I'm asking.
Well, you clearly didn't know the book because you didn't even know who the author
Logan,
is.
Here, we'll
Yeah, I've never read it. You're
Logan,
the
we'll
one
clear
who's
this
read
up
it.
right away. We'll clear this up right away. Logan, did you know if it was a Navy SEAL or not?
I did know it was a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
I did read the book. And
Alright.
it's basically these two Navy SEAls. They talk about their stories when they're in Iraq during the Iraq War back in the early 2000s, and talking about how their training and what they've done, how they through all adversity they don't blame, complain, or deflect or anything like that. They just kind of take things head on.
And quick question, Logan, for you right off the bat from that. The N word, do you think it's a bad word? Or is it like just like a normal just swear word?
That is more than just a swear word.
Okay. And taking the Lord's name in vain, is that a bad word or is that a swear word?
Culturally, it is not necessarily a bad word in today's culture. I still struggle with saying it myself. I just think just because of society kind of like
Saying the N-word?
no,
I had
saying the
no
Lord's name in vain.
idea.
Oh, my bad.
Saying
Okay,
the-
no, that was a true question. I caught. I was not paying attention to something else. So
You heard it here first on the Goof and Goof,
No.
everyone.
he doesn't say it. Go ahead.
You're not gonna don't try and cancel me. No, I struggle with the Lord's name in vain. I still think no one should really say it, but also you got to look at the context of that commandment. That commandment talks about just doing something horrific and saying that I did this in the name of God. That's kind of what the context is and what some scholars believe that's what it's saying.
Okay. And do you think if a white player said the N word, do you think he should be kicked off a football team?
I think this should be severely punished, especially if they know the
Like whipped kind of thing, or
no, like suspensions or something like that.
oh, okay.
You are such an idiot. Okay,
Sorry.
keep going.
But like if we look at the Riley Cooper situation in Philadelphia, he wasn't kicked off the team after I'm sure you guys have seen what he said, and he wasn't kicked off the team for that type of stuff. I think those things can be resolved through education rather than just simply just canceling somebody over the word. I understand a lot of people don't understand the history of it, but sometimes things can just slip out of people's mouths.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Interesting. So forgive and forget.
I don't go that far
You
because there is still a form of punishment. There is forgiveness internally, but there still will be a punishment.
What is that
Mm.
punishment?
Yeah. What would be a rightful punishment?
Depending on if they're like the severity of it, because there's different forms of saying that specific word, and if it's like saying the hard R type of situation, that's like borderline half a season getting kicked off because that's something severe that you don't say.
Okay. My question though is, what other word could you say that could do that?
Like the same severity.
Yeah. Is there any other word that you could say that could give you that extreme of a punishment?
I mean, there's other slurs for other races. I'm not going to exactly say them out loud, obviously. But there are different slurs that people can say.
So you think with those they should have the same punishment?
Oh, of course, obviously they should. I mean, there's history and context behind every slur. So I think there should be still, in any case, should be some form of punishment.
Okay, interesting.
Mm.
Had no idea. Good to know.
So do you think that, let's say we stack up the two. One person says the N-word, but he also says the Lord's name in vain. There's one that also says the Lord's name in vain. But the person who says the hard R gets kicked off the team. Why does the person who says the Lord's name in vain not get kicked off the team?
Just because, like I mentioned earlier, there's context behind the Lord's name in vain. with saying the N word, there is history behind that. There's hatred behind that specific word. But when you say the Lord's name in vain, there's different ways to interpret that. Like I personally don't say the Lord's name in vain just because it's how I was growing up with.
Mhm.
But obviously, I mentioned earlier that it's context. How you should never do something atrocious and then say in the name of God, I do this crime. And so that's what I've seen some scholars make when they read the ancient Hebrew text. So
what if someone was like, "Oh my," after doing something? You don't think that's punishable, or do you think it's
well, when you
less
say,
severe to
well,
say
again,
that
it's
than
how you really say it. Saying "Oh my God," it's different compared to just saying "In the name of God, I'm going to kill you," because I was commanded by God, and when clearly He did not command you to do that. And so you gotta think outside the realm of saying saying "Oh my gosh," or saying Jesus Christ, not in a way to glorify Him. Some people think that that's not a sin because of the context that what that commandment is saying.
so context is what gives it its negative
So well,
value,
so
essentially.
Logan, now I'm struggling to. You say historical context with, you need to know the historical way it has. How old is the Bible? Quick question.
Bible is roughly, well, it depends on how you go about how old the earth
Like the
is.
Old Testament, like
Depends
the
on the
Exodus.
context of it.
Let's say you just give me. I mean, it's probably well over 5,000 years.
Yeah, roughly 6 to 10,000 years old, probably.
Okay. I mean, Exodus. I mean, it's right there in the 10 Commandments. This is, I don't know. This is one of the things I have. I'm not saying the N word is okay to say. I never think it's okay to say. I would never say it. And I think it's a bad word. But I also think saying the Lord name in vain is probably, it should be seen a lot worse than saying the N word. And I think there needs to be some severity to that, because it shows respect to the Lord in that way. You know what I mean? So I don't know, like that's the hard thing with today's, because you brought up culture, because culture is a huge part of why we think the N word is bad. And I completely think that the N word is bad, and I'm not going to say it, and I won't ever say it. And I think it's bad for people to say it. It has toll on people, and you shouldn't use it. But I also think taking the Lord's name in vain, and I think you would probably agree with that, is that saying the Lord or taking the Lord's name in vain is bad. You shouldn't be doing it. I don't know. But like, the problem I have, if we're going serious now, we went from how do we give
We
it
went
that
from goofing around to this. I don't know. You just
I don't
started
know. I brought it up. Anyways,
That's not what I was told to be talking about tonight.
yeah. Well, when we go to a Christian college, and a lot of people say, like, they don't take the Lord's name as serious as they should. And I've heard them say, and this is the problem I have, is that they're okay with taking the Lord's name in vain, which I don't think it's necessarily. I don't agree with the scholars who say it's like doing evil in the Lord's name and saying the Lord told me to do this. I don't think it's necessarily that, because I think God put that in the commandments. I think you shouldn't obviously do that. And
I'm on this podcast, God willing, and I hate you all, God willing.
like, that's like, it's just, my thing is, it showed the severity and the seriousness of who God is. And when you are not using his name in a serious sense and you're not just using it kind of nonchalant whenever, it kind of
The way I look at it, it's like when people nowadays they say "I love you" to almost everybody. They're like they have like 50 friends and they say, "Oh man, I love you, man. Oh, I love you, dude." But
it's
like
true.
after you say it a million times to a bunch of different people, does the meaning actually do you actually love that person as a human being, or are you just saying it to just say it? I think that's kind of what you're getting at least from my interpretation.
What do you think, Logan?
Yeah, I can 100% see where you're coming from in this argument. Obviously, I still don't. I struggle. I was just like most people, just to not say the Lord's name in vain. Just because we're all sinful, and obviously I repent for my sins. Every time I go to church, when we confess our sins in the church, I make
You
sure
go to
to.
confession.
I do not go to confession. I do my own my own confession privately with God, just so I can reflect with Him one on one. Just having that relationship with Him.
Now, Logan, I know last time we talked, you said you were what religion were you? Matthew, what
He's
was
Christian, but he's Catholic.
it? Catholic? Are you
I am
Catholic now?
not.
Are you still?
I am. I am not Catholic, Matthew. I'm not
Are you
Catholic.
what?
I'm just messing with you.
What
He's Catholic.
denomination are you?
I am the Lutheran Church of Missouri Synod.
Very specific. Okay. And how did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I grew up in the church all my life. I grew up in the churches in downtown Chaska.
Lutheran.
I grew up. I loved being around the pastors, and it wasn't until I got into high school and college that I really started to develop my faith around that specific denomination, just because of the stuff I found I agree with mostly, and how churches run. Just because it's not Catholic in the sense of this the certain things they believe, like absolute confession, the believe in saints and stuff like that, but they still hold on to traditions that I still very much hold in my heart of how I enjoy being at church.
Okay. Well, darn right.
Let me give a big shout out really quick while we're paused here for just a moment to my brother Riley. My dad bought him a deck for Magic.
Oh, you did.
So they're playing Magic down in Texas right now.
Together.
Together.
What a family bonding
Dude,
time.
Let's go, man.
That's what we need, dude. I am huge, and I try to get my brother Riley into it too. And he said,
"You just got to show up one time. You just got to show up and play one time." That's it.
Yeah, well,
but Logan, so I know that you, your girlfriend was trying to get you to go to her church.
Oh, what does your girlfriend believe in?
Can we talk about that or no?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I mean, nothing too serious.
You got your
about
parameters.
it.
You go parameters yourself. Because
I
she's
mean,
Catholic, right?
She is indeed Catholic.
Okay.
Did she try to baptize you?
Earlier that she tried to baptize you. That was why I was laughing earlier, was because we had a conversation that he might be switching to Catholicism, or vice versa. One of the two. He was open to it, but it was a kind of a joke. The other thing, Logan, I got you earlier this last month. It was freaking Logan's birthday, so freaking happy belated birthday. But I got you freaking gift. How's
Do you
your
got
gift?
it with you?
Have you used it?
I have used it.
It
works very, very well.
Wow.
What did you
Very
get? Can
welcome.
you explain to the viewers and me?
Do you
what
have it? Can you
got?
show it?
I don't. I left it in my car.
Oh, go ahead and explain it.
It's just a hand. It's just like a simple hand warmer. You recharge them, and you hold them. I guess you just hold them in your hand. I guess you could put them in your glove if you wanted to. But yeah, it's helped to keep you warm because when it's 6 a.m. in Minnesota in early spring and late fall, it gets pretty cold outside in the morning. So it's very, very important to have those in Minnesota when you're dealing with that at 6 in the morning.
Yep. We
go ahead.
we
Matt.
freaking. I know Logan's got some really, really sensitive hands. So I wanted to make sure I got him some hand warmers.
Mhm.
So that way he stays warm. Because he's not, guys, bit of an update. Logan is the lead DFO for the freaking football team.
The-
Can you tell us a little bit about that, Logan? Give
Whoa,
us some-
big
give us
jump
some-
up for
give us some
you, huh,
overview.
Logan?
Yeah. So you just want me to explain it, Matthew?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you do? What are your tasks? What do you?
So essentially, I help run the managers and help get things to practice, such as equipment, cameras, water, stuff like that. And throughout practice, I make sure to check in on managers, see if they're filming everything right, if they have a good angle or anything like that, if we need to give refill waters or anything. But I'm still able to coach. I helped with the running backs this spring because Coach Franz, the head coach, he was asking if he wanted me to. I asked him if he needed help with some drills and for a day, and then I kind of got stuck with it for the rest of spring. So
And now
Nice.
you are officially the DFO.
I am official. I mean, Coach Leathers or Matthew remembers Tommy, how great of a job Tommy did.
You know that Tommy is now my coach. Did you hear that?
I did know that. He told me about that.
Yeah, he's my linebackers coach.
Yeah, and I heard
So-
that you guys were doing like dancing and stuff or something like that, which is kind of weird, but whatever.
Hey, that's whatever we can get the
I've got
dubs.
a quick question because you got me intrigued here.
Hmm.
Logan, from your film, how do you think having a drone would help? And do you think there's anybody on your DFO staff that's capable of flying a drone and doing film that way?
I mean, I would love to use a drone. I think it'd be great. I don't see why any of us couldn't run a drone. It's just getting it up and being stable. If it's windy outside, it's gonna be a little more difficult. But I don't see why anybody couldn't use a drone. So
Well, if we are in need of somebody, Matt, I will say we can hire. Oh no. Here he is.
oh
Please,
my goodness, is
really.
this the first appearance?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, first appearance.
I didn't want to say it because it's your announcement, Matt, but
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was pregnant, or I was pregnant.
one of
We
them.
were my wife was pregnant, and
Mhm.
we got a baby boy now. His name is Liam James. LJ for short, potentially. Might be a good little name
Could be.
there. And he's gonna be a beast. He's
Dude,
gonna be
his-
a freaking beast.
His eyes are wide open. He's
With arms wide open. Under
Matt, it
the
looks like you got some
sunlight.
packages there. You get some new packages over there on your desk.
Oh no, that has cards in it. That's like months
Mm.
ago.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Literally gave you cards out of it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Don't let that Logan, how does it feel though that Matthew named his kid with an L and your name has an L? So in the same way, like you and Liam kind of have that bond. And because of that, like Matthew thought of you when naming his kid.
Yeah.
How does that
I mean,
feel like that he
You are
basically
so full of it.
basically Matthew named his kid after you after the big podcast? How does
Yeah,
that
I mean-
feel that like
me and Matthew go back all the way back to 2019.
those
I
years?
remember it was homecoming. Iowa Wesleyan. It was
Mhm.
raining outside. It was my first college visit to Crown, and you know, I remember getting breakfast with you guys, going to chapel. I remember Matthew's the guy that sat next to me at breakfast. You
When
know,
we freaking wrecked Iowa Wesleyan.
Yep. And so, you know, we just always had that bond. You know, when we got 2 kids now.
This is every podcast.
This is
Um,
dad mode, dude.
Oh, gosh.
But you know, and then you know, I come back on another visit a couple years later. You know, he's the guy I was talking to a lot, and now me and him are working together.
Wow, what really full circle.
Also, just to let you know, guys, that if you guys are looking for a kind of like sportcaster, sports management kind of thing, like for the drone thing, I
Yeah.
found a guy here on LinkedIn. Let me show you him. Logan Anderson. He's in Burnsville, Minnesota. Game Time Media. So just let you guys know, he's out there. He's ready.
This is great.
You gotta send that to the coaches.
He's ready,
I got
man.
This perfect guy. His name, he'll fit in really well with our DFO.
Everyone.
Just start
So
only hiring Logan Anderson. Hey, Logan. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I need that Logan. Oh, yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Oh,
That'd be great.
check this out too. I just found this out. Logan Anderson. This is why he wasn't able to compete in the 4-way relay.
Oh no. Oh.
So
Hey, look, you can
kinda-
see my profile on there.
this one over right here, football roster. Let's pull it
There you
up.
go.
Actually, let's see.
Your weight
5'10", 153. Chaska, Southwest. Let's see some stats. Oh, well, maybe there's some in the. Oh, wait, here we go. Participation statistic against Martin Luther.
Wait, what did you do against Martin Luther?
That's interesting because I did nothing.
Did
That
you
was
get
a-
on kickoff returns?
I wasn't suited up.
What?
I was coaching at that point.
Oh, that's right. You didn't play a single down for us.
No, I did not.
Interesting.
Wow. I'm glad I recruited you.
You didn't even recruit me.
Sorry, I'm glad I talked to you at the lunch.
There you
glad
go.
I talked to you.
Get it right the first time.
Well, what do you say, boys? Start this bad boy up.
Let's jump in.
All right, man. This is your freaking thing, man.
It's my thing. Okay. Can you
All right, here we go. Bye.
Bye. Okay, get down.
Intro coming in. 3, 2. Oh wait, gotta go live. 1.
Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show, the podcast that brings you laughter, insight, and the quirkiest conversations. Join your hosts, Matthew and Regan, as they embark on a delightful journey through the realms of pop culture, humor, and everyday shenanigans. So, buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster of fun and entertainment. Let's dive.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Goof and Goober Show, episode 56. We just want to apologize. It was been a couple week hiatus. Couple good pieces of news and feedback. I had a child a couple weeks ago, so that's why we missed 2 weeks ago. And then last week, I was coming off having a child. And we had nothing. Oh, yep. Thank you. Thank you. Most appreciated. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Ready?
Guys. Guys.
Alrighty.
John. John.
Nice.
Hey. Knock it out. The last time
Alrighty.
I will call your mother.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, everybody's done.
Sorry about that,
So,
guys.
no, you're good. So the following week, Regan and I didn't have anything planned. We didn't do anything. And so we played Magic that day, and we had a good freaking time with good old Infinity Bro Robbie and Infinity Bro Jarrett. Shout out to the Infinity Bros for hitting 10,000 followers on Instagram. And we're on the road to freaking 10,000. We have like 9,902, 4, 5, 9,906.
I don't know. I haven't even been on
We're pretty close.
in a long time, dude.
But today we have, as you can hear, Regan freaking Dvorak, my compadre, my compadre, my consigliere in some ways. But then we also have a silent devil in the background. A man after his own foot. The guy, the man, the myth, the legend. He's got Star Wars in the back of his freaking closet. Logan freaking Anderson. Logan, how are you doing? Oh.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
That is so good, guys.
Oh, they love you.
Man, it's my third time on there.
John, knock that out. John,
Put your shirt back on now.
John.
Steve, shirt on.
I will.
We're in public, Steve.
Logan, I'm sorry. Hang on, before we,
Keep your shirt on.
John, right in the front row. I see you, and you need to knock it off. We're not messing around anymore. Go ahead, Logan. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Logan.
It's all good. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back. This is my third time on the podcast, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so, because we did the first one when you were at home, and then we did the second one where we were in person on the away trip, and now this one's the third. Yeah,
I think so.
I think that's right. We've got a frequent flyer here, boys. Frequent freaking flyer.
How does it feel to be the most frequent guest on the Goof and Goober show, Logan?
Man, it means a lot, I just I listen to you guys all the time, and it's just like I'm just glad I get to be on the podcast, every now and then. You guys don't forget about me. The experiences we had on the podcast together, whether it be I was jerking it for the first time, or Matthew catching a cramp in real life. Man, it was just fun times. I'm just hoping for another fun time on the podcast today.
I forgot I caught. That was bad. I caught a cramp on my calf.
Yeah, sucks to suck, dude.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got a couple different topics today. We're going to knock out a topic before we get to the main show, which the main show is going to be on X-Men 97. Now, Logan, I know that you didn't watch it. Maybe did you watch it? No, yes, no. So we'll just knock out the portion that Logan's going to be here for. And then we'll skedaddle him out of here so he can go to sleep. I know he's tired. But we're going to talk about the freaking NFL draft. NFL draft 2024.
Big time.
Ladies and gentlemen, give us your insights on what you thought about the NFL draft. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about the Minnesota Vikings, and specifically probably like the top 10, 15, because those are pretty important for this conversation. But we've got a screenshot here of a couple picks that old Logie Dog, LD or D-Lo, had made before the draft started. I texted him to make sure, so that way we had something to talk about. Regan, if you could pull that up.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now here.
We're going to talk about the first 8 picks here, because that's kind of what the screenshots are. But Regan, give us your thoughts on the draft. High expectations, low expectations, surprises.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm disappointed with the Vikings. I've said this before, I think on the podcast, that I don't like any of the quarterbacks that are coming out of this whole draft. If Caleb Williams is going first overall, we have a huge problem. The guy is not as good. He's way overrated, and I don't understand why he went first overall. Just because I don't see the value in him at all. But hey, I'm
Don't slander his name. How dare you?
I am not here to, I'm not the one getting paid millions to do it. But my thing is that comes away with the big surprises is basically a running back didn't get selected until the second round. And then after that, I believe until like the third or fourth round. I think there was only one selected in the second round. And then the next one was in like the third or the fourth round, if I remember correctly, which was crazy to me. Which shows you kind of like running backs are not like a huge commodity or something that a lot of NFL teams are really looking for. But they're mostly looking for quarterbacks. And no one out of this draft really put a huge, this guy can play or anything like that on me. But I will say for the Vikings, if there was one quarterback that I would take in this draft, I would probably select JJ McCarthy. So I'm not super happy with it. I wish that they would have tried to trade with the Chargers to get Justin Herbert, which would have been insane and crazy of a trade, and basically a huge blockbuster trade, just so that Jim Harbaugh or whatever the new offense coordinator for the Chargers can get his quarterback he been basically been training since he was in college. But I think those are the huge takeaways for me in this draft. Logan, what about you on that?
Yeah, this is a deep quarterback class. We haven't seen something like this since 2021 with the Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields draft. But to me, it's just like there was a lot of players in this draft where you could see success, at least QB-wise. You could see a lot of potential success with a lot of people. While in that the last 2021 draft, there's a lot of question marks, How could Trey Lance convert from FCS to the NFL? How could Mac Jones be one of the first successful Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL? Just a lot of question marks in that draft. But this draft, I felt a lot of GMs, scouts, coaches were a lot more confident in the players, especially QBs, about who they were picking. You had a Minnesota boy, Joe Alt, go in the top 10. You got to be happy about that, True. So, I'm not surprised with this draft. The only surprising draft pick, obviously Michael Penix to the Falcons after they signed Kirk Cousins to a deal. But otherwise, the draft, it was pretty simple. I didn't think there was something that wowed us in the draft other than the Michael Penix pick.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think the Joe Alt pick was a strange pick personally, just because they needed other things. They don't have any receivers. They don't really have a running back. They really just don't have anybody on their offensive side of the ball. But
make a lot of sense.
Jim Harbaugh is Jim Harbaugh, I guess, right? Like he's gonna do what he does, right? And he's gonna he's gonna be he's gonna be an NFL coach.
He's
and
putting
the first time.
I think he's putting a lot of respect on Justin Herbert. I think he's putting a lot of trust in him in helping build receivers in this pick. I think that's what this pick shows, is that Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers
he's gonna make a receiver good.
They're putting a lot of trust into Justin Herbert with that pick, because that pick's telling me that they trust their wide receivers or their quarterback to put the ball where the receivers need. You could have a good receiver that, like, Justin Jefferson, where he can win a low percentage catch. Fact, and like, what's that one where Justin Jefferson had that one hand with I forget who he was playing against, but Justin Jefferson could make big. the Buffalo Bills. If you can't hear Logan,
Yeah, if you can't hear Logan, it's because he has his mic up.
yeah, it's okay,
Sorry,
Logan.
guys.
But I think in that that pick that Chargers made, they're putting a lot of respect into Justin Herbert because one, they're trying to protect Justin Herbert. Two, they're putting his trust in that they don't have receivers right now. Obviously, that's their big void.
Downfall.
Yeah, but they're believing that Justin will be able to create a good receiver, kind of like Tom Brady would do with receivers in his era. Now, is that going to be true? I don't know. That's the main thing. But they're putting a lot of trust in Justin Herbert with that pick with Joe Alt. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a dumb pick, man. I think it's
I-
a really dumb
I don't.
pick.
Yeah, Justin. I think people already know that Justin Herbert's not the greatest leader. He's not. He's no Tom Brady, and I don't think it's a good pick either. I would agree.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, why do you think he's a bad quarterback, Regan?
Notre Dame. If you watch that game with Caleb Williams versus Notre Dame,
Mm-hmm.
that is the downfall of Caleb Williams.
So that
this
game
is,
alone, you think, is why he's not going to be good?
he was never able to pick himself up after things like that. He's going, when he has bad games, which he's going to have bad games, he's not going to be able to pick himself up. And that was his senior year. And after that, his games, they lost so many games. You look at this first round draft pick, and people have had such high hopes for Caleb Williams. He's not that versatile. He's not even like Lamar Jackson or even he's more of a Patrick Mahomes type like runner. He's not that good at running, but his throws aren't good as like Patrick Mahomes. So he's just not that high of a caliber first round pick. I don't think he
Do you
is
think
that
he's going to be a bust?
I think he's going to totally be a bust. I don't think that Caleb Williams is going to go that far. I think this is going to be just another story with the Chicago Bears trading him away to the Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, just like they did with freaking
Justin Fields,
and then what's the other guy before
Mitch
Justin?
Trubisky?
Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh,
Yep.
that's true. Both of the quarterbacks that they
Yeah.
drafted.
I saw
went to the
something like that,
Steelers.
and
That's so
I saw a
funny.
meme like that. Caleb Williams is going
He's
to be,
destined for the Steelers.
yeah, he's destined for the Steelers.
Logan, give us your thoughts. Caleb Williams.
I mean, I think Caleb Williams has every sort of bit of success in the world to succeed in the NFL. It really comes down to his mental game.
Hold up.
Um,
Pause. Regan, did you just crack a third one? You are addicted. Oh man. Go ahead, Logan.
But yeah, I think it really comes down to his mental game. You know, there's been a lot of talk about him not being able to handle adversity. You think about the Washington game, where he's going up to his mom and having her console him, and then how he's saying he wants to just go home and just cuddle his dog. He doesn't want to shake hands after losing a game and stuff like that. So it really comes down to, is he going to be able to be the diva that is also mature at the same time? Because he can be a loudmouth. He can talk all the noise and stuff like that. But I think at this point he has every bit of possible success to succeed in Chicago, whether it be
Every
the
chance
DJ.
to succeed.
Yeah,
you're
he
saying?
has.
Okay.
Yeah, like he has every single bit of a potential to succeed. He has three great receivers. He has DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Now you got Romeo Odunze. And so to me, it just feels like the only person that's going to stop Caleb Williams is Caleb Williams.
Right.
Do you think
And-
he's gonna stop himself?
I think there's a good chance. I think he's going to have a humbling moment, obviously. You know, he's going to be in the NFL. First 3 games, he may be like, okay, I can handle this. Then he goes against a team like the Cowboys or the Packers or the Vikings. And just understand the NFL is different compared to the Pac-12, and I think he has to understand that and learn to mature out of it and be able to understand that success is not going to happen every time, as he did not obviously expect that to happen while he's at USC.
Now, do you think with how many games do you think Caleb Williams is going to win? Because he's going to be their starting quarterback.
Oh, no doubt, he is going to be the number one quarterback. I mean, I got to look at who they're all playing this year. I mean, they're going to be playing a similar schedule to us. They're going to have a few different opponents compared to us. I think the ceiling for the Bears, 9 to 10 wins possible for a ceiling, and then a low could be 5 to 6.
So looks like they'll be facing obviously the NFC North, but on top of that, Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Carolina Panthers, and New England Patriots. On top of that, who else? Arizona. Did I say Arizona? No. Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, and Washington Commanders. Out of that, I mean, do you think the Chicago Bears will be a contender for the NFC North now?
I think they'll make a good fight. I don't think they're contenders just because, we don't know what Jordan Love's going to be like year 2. Is he going to take a giant step forward or a giant step back? I mean, the betting odds are going that he's going to take a huge step forward. Then you still got Detroit. I haven't even talked about Detroit yet, how they just keep getting better and better and better in their secondary. They drafted 2 DBs in the draft. They got a DB from Tampa who I really wanted, in Carlton Davis. I really wanted him to come to Minnesota. And so it's just stuff like that. There's just some things. I think they're getting there to compete with the North, but I think they're at a point where they can fight for it, but I don't think they have a chance at it.
Okay. And quick question too, Logan. Let's say you are the owner of a franchise. Okay. You are a active manager, I should say, not the owner. And you are drafting this. You have the first round draft pick. Anybody is at your disposal. Who do you pick?
Out of the 6 QBs you're talking about?
Let's just say
You just have
anyone.
any pick, dude.
Any pick. Let's say your team is pretty good right now. You're pretty satisfied with where your team's at. So like any pick would be big boost to your team. So anybody would be big boost. Who would you pick?
I probably just go with offensive lineman or receiver, just because those things can never hurt you. I mean, if I feel pretty satisfied, I want to make more big plays on my offense. If I can know I can trust my defense. So I'd probably go with a blindside blocker or type of receiver.
So you're more of an offensive type of manager.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's say Vikings first round draft pick.
Okay, yeah. There's a good question. That's good.
we're just going to use this year. We don't have Kirk anymore. We're dealing with Sam Darnold as our starting quarterback at the moment. There you could always trade up to really get the guy that you want. Like I was a huge Drake May guy. I mean, whole draft.
So no, but like
draft pick.
you have the first round draft pick as the Minnesota Vikings. Who would you select?
I'm selecting Caleb Williams.
Wow.
There's just too much talent that you just cannot take.
What is the talent that people are seeing in this guy? I really don't see it.
The elusiveness, being able to get out of a sack, the arm strength that he has, able to make plays off his off foot and off script, and it's just something that you can't coach that. That's just something that's just pure skill.
Yeah, I just don't see it. He's just not. I don't really see it in him. A huge factor in me, and that thing that would be holding me back is the Notre Dame game. I'll say it again and again. that freaking Notre Dame game is the game that I think would hold me back, as well as the not competing or even trying out or doing any activity in the draft day, the combine. That would be a huge pullback for me if he didn't do anything for the combine. So like that whole thing, which is just it pulls me back from selecting him. I think if I were you, if
more
I
like the personal type thing, like you're
character
you're
over
more towards the
everything,
character.
dude. Character over everything. Because I mean, huge thing is Johnny Manziel. You know, if I have a guy that's just, you know, I need a guy. If I'm going to draft a quarterback, he needs to be a legit leader and ready to compete. This guy doesn't seem like he wants to compete. He doesn't like to compete. And huge indicator of that is he didn't want to do the combine. He didn't want to do anything for the combine. And so that's just, to me, it shows me that he doesn't want to compete. He's not very much of a guy that he just wants to make money. That's all he's in it for. He's not an actual, like, he might be athletic in some ways, but like he's just not a competitor. And so I want a guy that's ready to compete. Like, the main reason what made Tom Brady who he was because he loved competing and being better than the other person. And if that's what our standard is for the greatest of all time, Caleb Williams is going to fail at that. He's not going to want to be there very long. He's not going to want to compete. He's just there to make money. Johnny Manziel. And so that to me is what's holding me back so much from him as well. It's these just the throws he makes are just bad choices as well. Sorry. I went on a rant there of why
You did go on a rant.
I just don't understand why people are up in like love this Caleb Williams. I really don't get it. He's not that athletic. He's made not even good he's just I don't know. I'm watching this highlight. There are sparks. I will give that. There's sparks, but this highlight against Notre Dame, which wasn't that good of a team. I mean, they were 5-2 at the time, and USC was at 6-0. They hadn't lost a game, but they completely mopped the floor with USC. Notre Dame did. And so, and a huge reason why they did that is because Caleb Williams couldn't show up. And as a first round draft pick, you really got to show up. And Caleb Williams didn't show up for the combine or anything like that. And it's just, that's what I'm going to say. It's just, he's not a tier. He's draftable. Don't get me wrong. I think he's draftable, but I don't think he's a draft one. He's a
number one
pick,
draft.
number one. Yeah. Number one draft pick.
Any counter arguments there, Logan?
I mean, Regan does bring up good points, you know, not doing the draft, you know, having one bad game.
It wasn't one, but you even said
I mean,
one.
you keep saying one, but I mean, again, there's plenty of NFL QBs that have not done the combine. They end up just doing their own private work days. He gave his own reasons why to not do the combine.
Can you name any like historically good quarterbacks in the NFL that didn't do a combine?
I believe Joe Burrow didn't do the combine. If anything, he probably maybe ran, maybe done a little bit of testing, but he didn't throw or anything like that.
Let's take a look.
Let's see if he's right on that.
Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. He did not throw at the combine.
But the thing is, Caleb Williams didn't even do like a physical.
I don't think he did anything.
He did nothing.
Right. Yeah, that definitely is a problem.
Let me just see if Joe Burrow did do. Oh, he did do the combine. He just didn't throw out the combine for some reason.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but I mean,
sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, but I mean, again, like, I'm not gonna defend Caleb Williams. I think the stuff that he does can be summed down to him just being stupid a lot of the times. I mean, he makes his own decisions, and that's what he's gonna roll with. But again, the talent there, what I've seen on film, is just something the talent there is just you can't coach that. It's just something that's you're just gifted with, and there's just so much gifted talent there that if you are able to condense it and coach it, you have a really good football player here.
Oh, wow. Regan and I had a pretty long, extensive argument previously about talent and skill. And it seems like it's kind of proven into my favor. But that's all right. It's whatever. Whatever. It's your preference. It's your preference. Steal of the draft out of all the draft picks, your number one steal of the draft. I've got my answer, but go ahead.
For me, I probably got to say Dallas Turner for the Vikings. Just being a little biased, just because a lot of people rank Dallas Turner as the best defensive player in the draft, and the Vikings being able to trade up, not give up a first-round pick next year, and just give up some mid-round picks for next year. I think that's a really good steal. You could also say Cooper DeJean out of Iowa, getting him in the second round from Philadelphia. Can be seen as a giant steal, considering like a lot of people said that he was going to go to. Yeah. Oh, why does Race have to come into this play?
Because he's a DB.
He's a safety.
Yeah, defensive back.
You got a problem with Harrison Smith?
He's not going to be a safety. He's going to be a freaking cornerback.
He's going to be a safety.
You can literally list him as a CB, a cornerback.
Okay, doesn't mean he's going to stay there.
I don't know.
I'll put money on that he'll move to safety.
Whoa, Regan, are you gonna put money on it?
Man.
Wait. So we've got to make sure that this is documented on live air. Logan and Coach Shorts made a bet a couple weeks ago.
Oh boy.
Logan, care to share about this bet with the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah. So I guaranteed that the Vikings would win at home against the Green Bay Packers this upcoming season.
Oh,
2-0?
No, just one. You got to win.
Just one. Yeah, they just won one game.
One home game.
And what's at stake right now?
It is a dinner at the Maynards in Excelsior
for a double date.
No, not double date. When I graduate, we're just gonna go get dinner afterwards.
And somebody's got to pay.
Somebody's got to pay, and it's not gonna be me.
I once invited Coach Shorts to get dinner. He didn't accept.
We should just keep pushing, try to get him to go to dinner. Hey, we're gonna go to Maynard's. You want to go to Maynard's? We're gonna go to this. You want to go? We should just start inviting him to everything. Once a week.
We should
just take him out.
Invite him on the pod, man. Frick,
oh dude. My gosh! Imagine him on the podcast
doing jerking it, dude.
I would love to see him jerk it. I'm gonna throw out my steal of the draft. I got two of them. Sam Hartman. I know it's undrafted free agent.
That's crazy. Sam he didn't Hartman, go. Yeah,
he didn't go anywhere.
That's crazy to me that he didn't even get drafted, dude.
That's crazy. It's ridiculous. I think he's a lot better than even a couple guys that were picked up.
I agree.
I think Washington picking him up is going to be a good thing. I think he's going to be able to compete. I think with that QB room. Personally. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, he's got Jaden Daniels too. They drafted second overall.
Yeah, he's still going to compete.
True, I agree. The only thing is Jaden. I'm sorry. sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say Jaden Daniels is just a lot more athletic. I think he's just going to be a lot more speedster, kind of that Lamar Jackson. But I don't know if that's what Washington is going to want. So
I think he's gonna get hurt, but it's whatever.
true.
The draft steal, I think, is the New England Patriots picking up Joe Milton in like the 6th or 7th round or whatever it was. I didn't like Drake May as much as Logan did personally. And so for him to go number 3, is that what he was? Number 3?
He was
number
Joe
3.
Milton, or you
No,
talking,
Drake May.
Drake.
I
May.
think it was too high for that guy personally. My thought was that it was going to go Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., and then Drake May or JJ McCarthy were going to fall to the Vikings.
You thinking
Personally.
Michael Penix pick number 3
Over Drake May?
Are you kidding me? Are you just trying to lose
If I
money
ranked
at this
my
point?
quarterbacks, if I
Okay, rankings are completely different compared to where they're going to go.
What are you talking about?
Just because you rank them doesn't mean the whole NFL agrees with that ranking. If you're going to make a mock draft, you gotta be a little.
It wasn't a mock draft. It wasn't a mock draft. It's my personal opinion on if you're going to go with a quarterback, I'm not going to go with Drake May. I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr.
Okay. It made it sound like that was your mock draft.
That was not my mock draft. I knew what my mock draft was, and I got the first 5 right. The one that got or 4.
You got Joe Alt
number
wrong.
4. I got the top 4 right. Joe Alt, I did not get right because I was not expecting them to freaking draft an offensive tackle. But personally, if I personally ranked it and I'm ranking it, I'm knowing Caleb Williams is probably going to go first. Jaden Daniels is probably number 2. But then it's like a toss-up after those 2, personally.
Well, first off, also real question about Joe Alt, because Logan, you already had projected the Chargers to go with Joe Alt. You got that draft pick correct. What made you go with that?
Just seeing different draft analysts talk about their mock drafts, and I felt confident. Like that's a generational type of tackle we're dealing with here. And so for John Harbaugh, is it Jim? I think is it Jim or John? I can't remember.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim. When you're dealing with this type of thing, like honestly, I get the upside about drafting JJ McCarthy. You know, you worked with him for 2 years in Michigan. You know what type of offense he can run. And so trying to develop him into an NFL quarterback, I can see the appeal there. But Jim has never drafted or traded back in the first round in his career with the 49ers, and I didn't see him doing that again with the Chargers. And so I simply said that you're going to take the best player available, and that's Joe Alt.
He's the best player available.
Talent-wise, like he's a generational tackle.
It's true. His dad was a good tackle.
Yeah,
Plus, he's from Minnesota,
I
so
mean,
obviously,
but the other
he's
thing
going to be
is-
generational.
I mean, you could also go with. There's a lot of generational talent here. You got Marvin Harris Jr. You know, Frank Gore's son is on this draft list too.
He didn't even get
He's not up
drafted.
there.
He didn't.
No, he didn't even get drafted.
I think he was a
man.
free agent.
He was a free agent.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, even Sam Hartman didn't. He was a free agent. That to me baffles me too.
Crazy.
I think that's crazy that Sam Hartman didn't even get drafted.
I
And you
mean,
would've
it makes sense for me.
I would have thought the Broncos would have picked him up.
What?
That would have been
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah,
You
like
thought
later in the
that
draft.
you didn't think Bo Nix was going to get drafted by the Broncos.
No, I'm not saying it's a replacement for Bo Nix. What I'm
I
saying
didn't
is
say
if
that.
he's going to have the. I think that they were going to pick up Bo Nix, but I was also thinking it would be a great idea for them to pick up Sam Hartman as well.
I don't
You
know,
can't
man.
pick up 2 quarterbacks in the draft.
When was the last time a Notre Dame quarterback did well?
Who cares about what college they're from? My word. Who
It
cares?
does matter. It does matter.
Why does it matter what college they're from? If they're doing well, why not? What?
It doesn't matter. You hype up any Notre Dame quarterback, they're gonna suck. Deshaun Kaiser, Jimmy Clausen, you name it, they're not gonna do well.
Just because of their school?
Joe
Yes!
Montana.
All right, forget about Joe Montana.
Joe Theismann.
I'm talking about 21st century. 21st century. Relax.
Oh, 21st century. Oh, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
No, that's what we're talking about. It doesn't matter. Like the school itself. That'd be like. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it.
I know what you're gonna say, but it's just
Joe
it
Montana,
doesn't make
50
sense.
50
to
years
go
ago,
off
we're still
of
talking
what
about.
school they're going
We're
from.
talking about
You
quarterbacks
compare-
50
said
years
Notre
ago.
Dame never had a good quarterback, so I just broke your comment. I destroyed your argument in one.
One name. One name is all it took. But that's the thing. You can't judge a whole person off of what school they're coming from. And so you have to go off of, okay, how actually well are they throwing the ball? How, like, that's what I think a lot of people are looking at it in your perspective, Logan, is that they're just looking at the school and they're just saying, okay, the school is saying, okay, this school usually does pretty good, and not actually looking at the player. And so that's what the problem is here. It's just they're not doing well.
Oh man, you're crazy.
I'm crazy. When he's out of the league, when he's out of the league in 3 years, I'll still be here chilling.
Who?
Sam Hartman, he's gonna be out of the league in 3 years.
Shut
No
up.
way.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's
Yes,
either gonna be.
I will
he's either
bet.
gonna start, or he's gonna be a backup for the rest
Start?
of the
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I agree with Matthew. I will take a bet on that.
He'll either be the starter or he's gonna be a
No,
perennial
he'll
quarterback.
either be a third string backup or he's out of the league.
I will bet he will be still in the league after 3
I bet
years.
He'll still be in the league after 3 years.
Okay,
100%.
UFL doesn't count.
In the NFL.
In the NFL.
I'll make that bet.
All right, what are you gonna bet?
Man.
I don't know. What do you want?
Oh no.
Oh man, Matthew, what do we
In
want?
reason. In
What do
reason.
we want?
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden dinner.
I'd do it Olive Garden. All three of us.
Still waiting on his. He's still waiting on his freaking.
No, I got the Olive
on
Garden
his
date.
payment. Did you get it?
From who are you talking about?
France.
I thought you were talking about LJ.
Wait. Oh, LJ. Did you get it from LJ?
I did get LJ. Yeah, me and
What
LJ did go.
What about France?
We might go during finals week.
Yeah, whatever. That's a no. That's a no if I've ever heard one.
Well, I told him to pick it up one time and he was going to do it, but they were closed.
Oh. I'd be willing to bet that Caleb Williams is out of the league.
Oh,
within
you
the
got to be
next
kidding
5
me.
years.
Next 5?
Yeah.
Zach Wilson's
gonna
still
pull
in
it.
the league.
Yeah, but Zach Wilson, I think Caleb Williams is going to pull a Manziel.
Yeah, I don't know about 5 years, because the thing was with Manziel, he was already like partying and like you could see it. Then that was a huge takeaway, and like people kind of oversaw that with his wins and his school.
I think he's a backup after 5 years. 4 years.
I'll agree with that. Yep.
I'd be willing to
Yeah.
make money on that.
I mean, so you're telling me within the first 3 seasons, you're not going to see any improvement out of Caleb Williams?
No, I think he's going to get stuck up in his college ways, thinking he's the best of the best,
Yeah.
and then go to the NFL and not want to get better.
Well, you got to remember, he was still succeeding in the Big 12. If his head coach didn't leave, he'd still be at Oklahoma right now.
Maybe.
But again, you got to keep in mind, Pac-12 doesn't have the greatest competition either. So.
All right. Anyways, are we going to make that bet then for Sam Hartman that in 3 years, if he's still after 3 years, if he's still in the league, Logan will have to take Matthew and I to Olive Garden.
I would
Logan?
take you. I didn't say I pay for it, but I'll take you.
Wait, well then how's the bet?
What's
us
the
there?
bet?
All right. Yeah, fine. 3 years. I'll take you guys to Olive Garden. 3 years.
All right, we'll make a bet here. I'll put a reminder here in my calendar. 3 years from now.
You got to leave a note. Leave a note.
Wait, I'll have to make it for August because it will be in August when.
True.
So I'm going to August 1st. We'll do all day 2027.
Well, because this first year counts, actually. So 2024, 2025, 2026. That's three seasons.
3 years.
2024 season, 2025,
Logan
2026.
Anderson, Bet. Sam Hartman.
You know, we gotta do a whole live stream too at Olive Garden. You know.
Whoa, Logan.
Maybe that's a great idea. Wow. We'll see if we're still on the podcast after 3 years.
All right, let me see. Do I even have you, Logan? As my okay.
I cannot wait for this bet to just crumble in your face.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
Oh wait, so it actually is August of 2027
Oh,
because
it
he
is?
has to play his third year, which is 2026.
Okay. All right, I added it for 2027, and I sent it over to you, Matt, too.
Oh, you gonna add me to it?
I thought I did. Let me grab it again, back again. Let me pull it up.
Inbox. Oh, yeah.
You got it? You get
Wow. Oh, I cannot wait. I just added it to my
it?
account.
Logan,
That's
you
so
got to
fun.
send me your number. Send me a message in Facebook so I can send this to you. You have a iPhone, right?
I do. Hold on. Let me go to Facebook. Hold on.
Yeah, if we could hear Logan, he's saying, "Yeah, I'll look." at
Yeah, hold
Facebook
on. Let me
later."
go to Facebook. All right. You know what? You know what, Matthew? I'm getting off soon, so it's fine. You guys are gonna kick me off soon. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Also, Logan, the 2024 Minnesota cheerleaders have just been announced. Here we go. Let's get the names down. This is what you've been waiting for. Allison P, Emma C, Kate V, Lexi N, Sailor C, Annie K, Gracie K, Catherine C, Lindsay S, Soonji M, Caitlin A, Hannah F, Kaylee F, Maris L, Sophia H, Cassie M, Jenny T, Kiara H, Maya H, Talia H, Elizabeth W, Jordan N, Kiki O, Megan P, Tatiana B, Ella S, Carissa K, Krista E, Morgan Q, Taylor H, Emily C, Carolyn N, Lauren C, Paige E, and Whitney S. Anyone surprise you from that?
I could not
Who's
tell
your
you a
favorite?
single person. I could not tell you a single person off that list.
Yeah, but who's your favorite?
I don't know, Carissa, whatever her name is. I don't know.
Okay, let's pull up a picture. Go ahead, Regan.
Carissa, let me grab her name. Carissa K.
What other bets should we have for this year? Olive Garden dinner. Four.
All right, I got her right here. Let me show my screen. So, Logan, this is your favorite cheerleader of the Minnesota Vikings.
What the?
Kind of weird, but I didn't want to say anything. I mean, hey,
Wow, you're into those individuals.
okay, all right.
Okay. Wow, you bad boy.
Didn't want to say anything, but whatever.
Oh, that's great. What's
I
another
mean,
bet we can we can pull with Logan? Because I'm really looking forward to this Olive Garden dinner. I can't wait 3 years.
Dude, it's on the calendar, but I sent it over to you, Logan. Let me add you as a contact too. But I don't know what else. What other? Let me know, Logan. Did you get that?
I did not get it. No.
Oh my gosh, typical.
You got to open up your calendar.
Oh, I gotta open my calendar.
Yeah, and then it'll say inbox on the right hand side or bottom right.
No invitations.
Let me see here.
Let me see. Let me see if I typed in the right. Yep.
I guess another question to ask: Minnesota high school football or Texas high school football? Go ahead, Logan.
What's more
And why?
entertaining to watch?
What's better?
Well, what's better is Texas football. But I would rather easily go watch the Minnesota high school football game
Why is that?
because I'm biased.
Oh. So if we take the bias out of it, why is Texas high school football better than Minnesota?
Just because of the regulations and the talent pool that's down there. You know, Minnesota, it's a state of hockey where you can play indoors, where you can basically play all year if the regulations are fair. And well, and down in Texas, you can play all year. Doesn't mean you're playing games all year, but you're still practicing and stuff like that all year.
Right. Exactly.
By practicing all year, what do you mean by that?
Like you are still like doing proper like tackling practice. Basically, if it's like an extended summer program, you know, you do your conditioning days. You start getting pads out and stuff like that. And overall, your summers and your spring consists of purely football, and so it's hard for student athletes to really try and be dual sport athletes, just because they're so focused on one sport in Texas, which would be football.
Now, is
And
that
that's-
fact or is that opinion?
That'd be a strictly opinion. I just know in Minnesota, if you're really good at hockey, you're staying with hockey. You're not going anywhere
true.
but hockey.
It's true. It's why a lot of like athletes they lose out on big mucho bucks because they decide to go with just one sport and not the other. Like some
Yeah, so they
guys
go to the
just
sport
choose
that
to
they're
go
better
to. Just some guys decide to go to like wrestling.
Yeah, they go to the
They
sport they're
could
better at.
probably get a lot more money or get a lot better at like football if they decide to go with football, but they decide to go with the sport that they love more. Not necessarily they're better at, but they just like more. But they're just more athletic. So
but-
yeah.
But then that would take away Logan's argument. If they're good at hockey, they'll just stick with hockey, right?
Not necessarily that they're good at it. I would say I would disagree with that. With what Logan said, with if they're good at it, they're just going to do what they're good at. I think most people are going to do what they love more than what they're good at. Now, to say what they're good at and what they love go in line, I think most people would go in with that, but I think that's debatable. I think there's a good amount of people that would say, you know, my dad's forcing me to be, you know, to go into football, but I really love hockey. But my dad's really
that
wants
doesn't
me to.
happen here in
Oh, it
Minnesota
happens.
as much
Oh,
as
no.
Texas.
No, it happens. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying
okay.
is that's what happens a lot here is that, well, dad really wants me to be really good at this sport, and I am, but I really like this sport more. I saw it happen a lot in my school. There was a guy that probably could have gone like a lot of D1 schools, but he just didn't want to do sports. So, and the only reason why he would go D1, I would say, is just because of his size. He was like 6'5", 6'6", and he probably would have been an old lineman.
Yeah. What I noticed was that they're in Minnesota. When people go Division I in Minnesota, it's normally like the smaller school Division I schools when it comes to football.
Like what
It's
smaller
like you don't
schools?
see you don't see like a lot of people going to Alabama or Oklahoma or
Well, they get
some of the
offers.
larger schools.
I mean,
They usually
yeah,
go to more of the smaller Division 1 schools, the FCS D1 schools, the
yeah. I
Well,
mean,
like you,
there's a lot of people like the number one running back in Minnesota went to South Dakota State. Um,
but
I mean,
like you
there are
said
we
before, oh, like you said before, Matthew, though, it doesn't matter what school you go to, it's the talent, that really should be evaluated.
like
how many
Minnesota, we
Minnesota
have
people got drafted in the
In the
draft?
top 5, one.
No, in the draft itself.
I
Was it
know
just
in the
one?
top 5,
Just
there
one
was a
in the
kid
top five.
20% of the top
there's a
5.
kid there's a kid up in near Duluth named Coy Parrish.
Mhm.
He got offered from USC, Ohio State, Michigan, all those schools, and ultimately I don't know why he chose Minnesota out of all the schools.
Because it's hometown.
Yeah, hometown, but I mean,
That's a huge thing why a lot of people will do, just because it's family. They don't have to travel very far, and they care a lot about it. That's what I would say.
So they don't really care about football. They just care about being closer to family.
That's the huge difference between Texas and Minnesota, is because Minnesota cares a lot more about family than Texans.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. That makes
I
total
didn't
sense.
know that, actually.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense.
Why a lot of people would go, in the area of Minnesota when they could go bigger, because they care more
Gotcha.
about family.
Yeah, because I mean, I do a lot of I'm not like actively recruiting a bunch of guys, but I see a lot of recruiting on Twitter, and I'm just not seeing very many Minnesota guys. If they're getting D1 offers, it's not from any good schools. It's just normally from
Well, you must not be looking at the right guys then.
yeah, Prep Zone, Minnesota. The number 1 Minnesota Twitter page. But it's whatever. It's whatever. You're right. I'm not looking at the right stuff. But I'm just not seeing.
That's what
you
I'm
got to use
telling
Star
you.
Tribune. Prep Red Zones is all about fake news media.
Yeah, it's so fake. Fake news.
I didn't know that, actually, man.
It actually.
And you call yourself and you call yourself a coach? It's kind of
What?
weird.
What?
No, I'm just nothing. I mean,
Well, I know that they never say negative things about the players, which is great. But they also like and retweet a bunch of stuff, and they also post about a bunch of stuff.
Doesn't mean they're real. It just means that they're just reposting everything. I can do that.
If a kid posts on there that they got an offer from Alabama, like either it's gonna get taken down because Alabama's gonna say, "Hey, we didn't offer you." There's gonna be a lot of publicity, or he actually got an offer from Alabama. Which I don't really see very much.
Did you see that one video of a guy, some high school kid? He said, "I have so many offers." He had an offer from Alabama, Auburn, and stuff like that. And somebody watched this film. He's like, "You did not get offer from these schools. You faked that. You faked them."
Yeah, and people will call him out for it. So it's pretty easy to figure out if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I see a 6'4", 310-pound offensive lineman posting that he got an offer from the University of Minnesota, and I look at his film, and it's pretty obvious, then it's obvious, like that stuff. But besides the point.
Well, I think. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say. I think a lot of people will just get offers because they're 6'4", 200, or 200.
Yeah, but I'm not even
pounds.
seeing a lot of that in Minnesota. Even people who are just massive getting offers from Alabama or some of the big schools, Oklahoma, UT. None of those.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But it's whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to give a big special round of applause for Logan Anderson for coming up on the podcast.
Mm.
Guys, it's not easy for a guy like him to come on the podcast, talk in front of people. It can be pretty nerve wracking, but luckily we're here to provide him with that outlet. Is there anything that you want to say, Logan, before we let you go?
No, just I'm looking forward in 3 years to our little Olive Garden date when I'm right about Sam Hartman.
Oh,
What
the heck?
Do that.
were you?
I was trying to do that.
I
but
was
it
doing
wouldn't let
it
me
too.
do
I
it.
was like, I was trying to do it a lot faster.
We love you, Logan. We love you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. But ladies and gentlemen, we've got to talk about X-Men 97
Oh,
in
my
the
word.
last couple of episodes. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah, we
because
got to get right into
We
it.
got to get into it. So
You want me to run
this
the
will be your
spoiler?
spoiler warning, right?
Hey there, Goof and Goober fans. Before we dive into the episode, we want to give you a heads up. Spoilers ahead. This message is equipped with our official Goof and Goober Show rating system, so you know just what you're getting into. Come on, follow along. 5-star, a must-watch. Prepare for a roller coaster of emotions, jaw-dropping twists, and laughs that will leave your sides aching. These are game changers. Then we have a 4-star. This is entertaining. While not quite a life-altering experience, these movies and TV shows are popcorn recommended. 3 stars, average and not groundbreaking. A decent movie or episode that will still deliver the goods. It's worth a watch for dedicated fans. 2 stars, room for improvement. These movies or TV shows have their moments but fall short of our standard. And of course, 1 star, proceed with caution, buckle up. These are trash. Well, now that you know our rating system, let's jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is our follow-up to X-Men 97. We started off with the first 3 episodes, episode 1, 2, and 3. Really good start to the TV show. We did miss a couple weeks, but let me tell you what, we have gotten freaking hit with some freaking sweet freaking crap. We're gonna skip part of episode 4 because episode 4 was just not really that great, to be honest with you. This was the Motendo episode, but then it also was the first start of what's called Life Death. And so we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about episode 5, 6, and 7, kind of giving some brief overview. But let's talk about episode 4 and 6. As
You mean 5 and 6?
4 and 6. Part 1.
Because you
and
said
part 2.
Motendo you didn't want to review.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the
Motendo's
Life Death
episode.
part.
Yeah, Motendo is episode 4.
But it's also Life Death episode 4, part 1.
Oh,
You see that? You
Yep,
see how
I
it
see it
says it
now.
on there? Yeah,
I
yeah.
have.
So it's part 1 and then part 2. So Regan, give us your overall rating of X-Men, just general so far. Now that we've gone 7 episodes deep.
Dude, this is a big surprise of 2024. This whole series was not expecting this at all from Disney. This is huge for Marvel, for this next phase. I think, like you said, Matthew, and I would agree with it, it's leading way for Deadpool Wolverine. And I am loving this. I'm on this ride. This is a fantastic series that has taken us on a roller coaster of emotions. So right now, so far through episode 7, I'm 5 out of 5 for this. There's really not a whole lot. I mean, I guess I could maybe lower it because episode 4, Motendo, wasn't very interesting. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense. That's the only thing that would maybe pull back my rating. But other than that, it's 5 out of 5. I think it makes up for it in the other episodes, like episode 7. where you get a lot of what do you call it?
There is a lot of twists and
Like
what's the
star,
freaking
yeah, like guest stars, I guess is what you could say.
word?
What do you call it? I don't know what you, but like bringing in a lot of people. They're
It's
mixing.
got a lot of plot twists.
Yeah.
It's got a
They're
plot
mixing
twist.
in what most people have been asking for in Marvel is the mixture of X-Men and Marvel, your original Marvels. And this is doing it, and it's leading away, I think, for the next phase for movies in Marvel and TV series. So this is great. Next episode we have is on this Wednesday, and I'm gonna have to watch it. My wife actually, when we sat down, because Matthew and I have actually been sitting down and watching these series together, which has actually been fun. I'm not gonna lie, I've enjoyed those times. And but like we sit down and we'll play at the same time. We can't like stream it together because Disney doesn't like that, but we both have Disney's
Disney
Plus streaming, but we will sit down and we'll watch it together. But my wife has voiced to me that she would like to watch it together. But yeah, Matthew, I would say 5 out of 5 out of this whole series thus far. But we only got 3 more episodes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I literally echo. I've got to echo everything you said so far. I'm going to give it a 4.8 only solely because of the Motendo portion of the episode 4.
Agreed.
It just wasn't. It wasn't necessary. It was filler content, to be honest with you. And obviously filler is okay. We can have filler every once in a while, but it just wasn't. It was just solely filler. So there's no other than. I guess the only other reason why it was there was to give Jubilee some insight on maybe her powers. That was pretty much about it, but the randomness of it was kind of, whatever. But yeah, overall, I give it a 4.8. Should be a 5 if the Motendo part wasn't in there. But we'll see what happens at the end. Let's jump into from episode 3 and moving into part 1 and part 2 of Life Death. Storm is essentially, she's depleted her powers. She got her powers removed, or hidden, I should say, or cast away from her, from her being for now. In part 1 and part 2, we see that she kind of just goes on this journey of trying to find her purpose, trying to find, who she is outside of the X-Men, how to get her powers back. And really we just kind of get into, really just some dark periods in these 2 parts. We're introduced to a new character. The new character is Storm, and what's his name?
I have no idea what his name is.
Episode 4. X-Men 97 characters. Let's take a look. What's his name? I can't remember his name, to be honest with you. He's the guy who lost his leg or whatever. He lost his leg, and then he's like an inventor. He invents a bunch of different stuff. I'm just gonna keep scrolling until I find it. But he meets up with this individual who she's met previously. Apparently they were some sort of lovers, I guess. And the goal is to really just find her powers. Regan, honestly, I felt a lot of sadness. I felt a lot of like, man, this is Storm. Like, I can't believe she lost her powers. Because Storm is it's a massive character.
Yeah.
Massive character for the X-Men. And so for me, I was just sad, but then I was also kind of freaked out on kind of the direction in which they took these two parts.
This is a huge dark side of X-Men, I think, that they took. This is kind of more of like a horror side that they took with Storm. And I mean, they do it well, and they do well in the different genres that they bring in to X-Men, because in each episode, I feel like you have a comical, you have a romance, you have your action, you have your horror, and they mix it and blend it all very well in this. I think they do a very good job in Life Death with Storm and what's his face. I'm trying to find
his name's Forge.
Is it Forge?
I think. Let me just Forge X-Men. Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Yep, it's Forge.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. And Forge, I think that whole dynamic is great, and also Storm becoming more powerful too than what she was, because we knew before that Storm was like a threat level. What did they call
Avengers
her?
level threat.
What? Yeah. But
No,
a
I think that's what it was called.
huge threat for the what's their faces, the freaking I can't think of their names, but was a high tier, like a tier 5 X-Men or mutant, and because of that, through the Sentinels, that's what I'm thinking of. The Sentinels would call her like she's a huge threat. She was a, like, I don't know, like a class 1 or whatever they call it.
An omega level threat.
That's it. Yeah, or something like that. But I think she grew in this and knew who became more powerful through this whole thing. And that was through Forge and his powers and him helping her. But Storm really had to know who she was, and she came out on top, obviously.
In episode 5, 6.
In
episode 6. Yep.
Yeah, 6 there. So I think she does a fantastic job. I've always loved Storm. She's obviously one of people's favorites.
Call
character.
upon the skies in the thunder.
You just remind me of Alexander.
Oh no.
Golly. Oh goodness, no. Oh man. But yeah, I think with that plot line, because there's a lot of plot lines in this too, that you kind of follow, but they do a good job of organizing it to keep up with what's going on with each character, especially in this part 2, when at the in a huge plot twist. I don't know if I can.
Go ahead.
Did you want to say?
Yeah.
Where we find out that Professor X is actually still alive. We don't necessarily know if it's like a multiverse. Actually, in episode 7, we find out they've actually been hiding it. They've known he's alive. They just don't necessarily know what happened to him. I'm thinking we don't know everything yet. But in episode 6, we find out that Professor X he's alive. But he is somewhere else in
having
the
an
universe.
affair off world somewhere.
Well, not necessarily an affair. I mean, he's never had a girl. Maybe an affair with the X-Men. Yeah. He's a slew. It's the kids. But that change, you see the change in Storm and her basically leveling up in a way when she gains like the what do you call like the what do you call those things? The things that hold your hair back?
The hair tie?
The hair tie, not a hair tie, but like a bow or something like that over
Oh
her
yeah,
hair.
yeah. Yep.
After she does it, she's got that, and now she's
Talking about Storm.
Storm, and
Yeah.
she's more powerful.
She
now.
somehow gets a whole new outfit. She's got
That's the thing I don't get to about it is like, well, I mean it's X-Men, but
I mean it is a cartoon, but it it's whatever. But yeah, no, I think that this episode in particular was a good episode. This
Yeah.
one was a really good episode. Like we were watching it, and then all of a sudden, like we just see this guy pop up, and Regan was like, "Is that freaking Ronan?" And I was like, "Yep,
Right?
that's freaking Ronan."
Dude.
And this is where it's all starting to come
It's
up.
all
like,
mixing
it's
in
sta-
together.
starting to mix in, and like I'm telling you, I'm trying to predict the future, and I'd be willing to bet money this is connected to Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know. I just got a feeling. But
Mhm.
essentially, and they're going to be a big part in the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward. So
Well, and then I mean, if we move on to episode 7, I don't know if you wanted to
yeah,
get
do
to-
it. Go ahead.
is that Captain America then popping in out of nowhere for like I mean, I don't know necessarily why he was in there for like he was in there for
second.
like a scene, not even like a minute scene. And Rogue, it was him and Rogue, and then Rogue just like chucks his shield for no reason, like was just because she's pissed off. But it's just like they're mixing it together here, which I think, like you said before, I think you talked about this before, is maybe on, I don't know if you talked about on the podcast, but in the older episodes from X-Men,
the
90s,
original. Yep.
the original, the very end, they brought in a Captain America, but here
Yep.
they're bringing him back in right off the
Early.
bat. Yeah, right, early, exactly. That's what, and so like that leads me to believe that they are bringing in the top dogs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're mixing them in, and it makes me go more along your line, is that with Wolverine and X-Men, or what Deadpool and Wolverine, that they're going to mix the two.
It is.
But yeah,
It's becoming evident and clear because there's not one Steve Rogers. There's not one Tony Stark. There's not one. So, but we also see in the Deadpool is that, or the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, is that this is going to be connected to Doctor Strange in some way, somehow, because a portal was popped up in the trailer. Not only
Matthew,
was
you're ruining the whole movie for me
no,
right now.
No, I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh,
Frickin' A, man.
I'm sorry. I forgot Regan doesn't watch the trailers.
I don't like watching trailers because it ruins the movie for me now. Because I feel like nowadays they give.
They didn't give much, but
I mean that I just like I want to be surprised. I'm already going to watch it. I know I'm going to watch it, and it's just like I just would rather not have anything really spoiled for me
right.
through a trailer. Like Spider-Man Home, like the last Spider-Man. I wish I tried not to watch any of those. And it made the movie experience, I feel like, better because because the trailer like that would be a huge thing, you know?
Well, I just screwed it for you. I might as well continue. I might as well keep going. King of Ramen Shin, what's up, brother? Hello, brother. Thank you for coming.
Brother.
Special plays, special players, special teams,
know.
whatever. But yeah, no, this TV show is slowly not slowly, it is becoming more and more evident that we have a shot. We have a shot at this connecting to the MCU.
Mhm.
And I'm freaking excited. I'm excited about this. Now, before we talk about the second part about episode 7, because there is a big part that we're gonna have to talk about. The first part on episode 5, the biggest, the best, in my opinion, episode in X-Men 97 so
Mhm.
far.
Yeah, I agree.
There's so much to talk about.
Action pack for sure.
Action pack, heartbreak, fear. Fear is another word. Like, and I'm not even there, but like fear. Man, this episode is. I'm scared to watch it again because it's like this. It's sad at times, and it's brutal, and this episode makes me realize this isn't a kids' TV show.
No, not one
This is
bit.
not a kids' TV show.
Right.
Not that in the sense of like they say sexual things or they're cussing but just the sheer magnitude in how they did. We'll just talk about it. We're just going to talk about it. So the synopsis for this movie is team members hit Genosha as UN honorees while a press event risks exposing the team's dirty laundry. Bunch of the mutants go to Genosha. Genosha being a separate island for mutants, place where they can all come together. And we had a little bit of a hiccup. The hiccup was they were attacked. They were attacked by the freaking, what are they? Is it not Galactus? What are they called?
The freaking
What are they called? The Sentinels. The Sentinels pop up, and by golly, this is probably some of the best action that we've seen in Marvel in a really long time.
Right. 100%.
And this is coming from a cartoon. This is coming from a cartoon. We're not even like better than Ant-Man. Better than like it's just better than a lot of different things. But Regan, give me your ideas, and you can give the spoiler of what kind of happens. But kind of walk us through that next part.
This whole episode, I think is you get a lot of emotions. And I think they bring it all together in this episode. I think you have a lot of jealousy in it with Rogue and Gambit, as well as you get that romance, you get the action, and like you said, Matt, like the fear, the horror type stuff. And this whole thing, is set in the town that this whole oasis, basically, kind of like Wakanda in a sense, where they make a oasis for mutants where they can just go and be. And then they're trying to restore peace between mutants and humans. But then in the end, obviously, we have the Sentinels that come in and start destroying everything, killing everyone. And we're then left with who is willing to give it up. Because before this, the Sentinels were kind of like seen as... The Sentinels were just these... They weren't that powerful. And there's this new Sentinel that is able to basically disarm any mutant. And we also get Nightcrawler coming in on this one.
Yep.
This is the one where Nightcrawler comes in, and he's back, which is sweet. But the thing that really kind of grinds my gears a little bit is the relationship between Rogue and Magneto. And it pisses me off a lot, to be honest, because we're told this whole time it's Rogue and Gambit. And then all of a sudden it's now Rogue and Magneto, and Magneto's jumping in and like taking Rogue away from Gambit, and he kind of pisses you off a lot in that way.
You see just kind of how like it's more of like I don't even know how to explain it other than it's just like more of a sex appeal type thing. You know what
I don't know.
Like,
it's not necessarily
really
sex
know.
appeal, but like
or
it's
they had,
just
like,
like
a past.
yeah, like it makes you like it's not like a kid's cartoon. There's a lot that goes into each relationship, and you realize that there's a past, and you have to recognize that. But this whole oasis of mutants, who is now being led pretty much by Magneto, and Magneto is trying to get Rogue to be his second hand, who basically his wife to be his first lady. It seems like that way. But that was rudely interrupted. Not necessarily rudely. We're kind of happy it was interrupted by the Sentinels and this Mastermoid mold or whatever the person, this huge Sentinel that's able to pretty much destroy anything. Right, exactly. And kills a bunch, a freaking buttload of mutants. And that's where it's kind of gets to the sad part with all the mutants it kills. But it ends, this whole episode ends with Magneto pretty much sacrificing himself to save other people. So you're told.
So you're told. So you're freaking told.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, Nightcrawler has one of the most BA saves in all of freaking in all of the freaking MCU.
Which one is that?
If you go to minute 234 or 225 24, 25 minutes and 24 seconds, and you play it from there, it is the freaking most BA scene I've seen from him that I would just never expect. Super cool. Sacrifices himself. But then the other thing is we also see that Gambit really goes and he just becomes a BA as well.
Oh yeah.
And ends up sacrificing himself
as well. Yeah, he
as well. And he officially dies.
Crazy episode of so
Crazy
many
episode.
deaths.
We literally got off the Discord after watching and was like, they actually killed some people.
Dude, it was
Like,
crazy.
It was crazy. But going to our next point, because again, this is an emotional filled episode. We see a ton of action, highly recommend it. But then we see in episode 7, Magneto's not actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
Magneto is alive. But Magneto was saved by what it looks like is Sinister and another Magneto. A reanimated Magneto. Just like we have the two Janes. We have two Magnetos. One's a little bit older, a little bit different, and then we have now our original Magneto. So this story has just officially gotten super crazy because we were smacked in the face with thinking that Magneto and Gambit died. Rogue goes on this big old freaking excursion. She goes crazy. Magneto's still alive. And now we're on to episode 8, which we will be watching this Wednesday.
Dude, we should do a live
Watch without watching it. Just have
live watch.
everybody-
Well, we'll get people on and then we'll like say, hey, we're at this minute.
We're gonna start here in 3, 2,
2,
1, go. Just start early. 3, 2, 1, go.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get everybody off. But man, I'm really having fun with this episode or for this TV series.
Yeah.
Any last comments before we move on?
No, dude, I freaking love it. I love this series so much. There's really nothing to complain about here.
Nothing to complain about with this TV series. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It is absolutely a fabulous TV series. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Invincible in some of its like picture and some of the fighting stuff, which I really like. So if you guys want to check it out. It's really good. Highly recommend it. Other than that, we never actually plugged ourselves. If you've gotten to this point, if you've gotten this far, thank you. If you're watching in the live stream on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, we thank you. We are back in freaking action. When we get off here, I'm going to go freaking drop some heat, and then we're going to schedule out the next weeks of stuff really quick, so don't go anywhere, Regan,
Okay.
just to knock it out.
it.
But follow
Let's
us on
freaking do it.
Twitter. Follow us on Twitch, everywhere, Instagram, Podchaser, wherever, and comment below. Let us know what you think.
Please.
Anyway, we love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Peace.
And that's a wrap on another hilarious and unforgettable episode of the Goof and Goober Show. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did recording. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our future goofiness. Join us next time as we continue to explore the weird and wonderful world of laughter and entertainment. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media and share your favorite moments using hashtag Goof and Goober Show. Until next time, stay goofy, stay goober, and keep spreading smiles wherever you go. Thanks for tuning in to the Goof and Goober Show with Matthew and Regan.